Welcome to The Old Ways, Leather and Archery. We're going to be doing a comprehensive and informative series on traditional archery equipment and practices. Starting today with parts of the bow. The main parts of the recurve, the riser, and the different parts of the riser being the shelf, the grip, the throat, the palm swell, and then the tapers, which go into the laminations for the limbs. So the tapers for the riser graduate into the laminations of the limb. End of the limb, obviously the tip. On the tip, the string grooves or string nocks, just an old English word for notch in the limb. The front, or the part of the bow which faces away from the shooter, is the back. The part of the limb that faces the shooter is the belly of the limb. We also have the bow string. The end of the string is served at both ends for a continuous loop string. We also have the serving to protect where from abrasion from shooting, and the string knock, which is where an indicator for placing the arrow either above or below for consistency. And a real quick note on the serving. Serving is another layer of material wrapped around the string to protect it from abrasion and also protects your fingers, builds up an extra layer to help click nocks and hold them in place. Some of the differences between longbows and recurves: longbows tend to have smaller risers, and the limb tips do not touch the string when the bow is strung. That is the primary difference right here. It does not necessarily mean or indicate the overall length of the bow. However, longbows tend to be longer than recurves. Another difference in recurves and longbows: recurves, in my right hand, tend to have a center shot cut for their shelf, which means this shelf is cut so that the arrow rests in the center of the bow and lines up with the string better. Another difference: longbows, recurves. Longbows cut for their shelf is not true center. It is off center, usually an eighth to a quarter of an inch. Another variation on traditional archery bows is a self bow. This particular one is a U longbow with a D section. This is all one piece of wood, and it has no cut for cutaway shelf. A quick comparison between two different types of longbows, this one being all one piece of wood with no arrow shelf cut. This one is basically two pieces of wood, one piece making the body the bow from tip to tip, and then it has backed with a piece of hickory to hold it all together, also with a shelf cutout. A quick comparison between two different types of recurves, this one being an Asian style with a static tip, simply not moving, and Asian style tends to have a smaller riser or grip area. The first style that I showed you is more of a Western style recurve. The working tip flexes as the bow is drawn and has a much larger riser area. And that wraps up traditional Archery 101, bows, parts, and differences between different bows. Thank you for watching The Old Ways, Archery and Leather. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, please.